Do you dare believe a machine born in the 1980s remains a nightmare for modern air defense systems? What allows the F-117 Nighthawk to slip into the heart of enemy territory and vanish as if it never existed? What are Russian and Chinese generals whispering about in their classified briefings? In the dead of the Nevada desert night, a black blade slices through the sky, silent, unseen. Do you hear anything? That's the silence. An unnatural silence. Not the peaceful hush of the desert, but a heavy-weighted silence as if the air itself is holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. The sand seems to pause mid-drift. The ground trembles faintly as something glides overhead. No lights, no reflections, no sound. Just a feeling that you're being watched by something you can't see. The F-117 Nighthawk, stealth assassin that turned fortified air defenses into a mockery, blinding radars and rendering missiles powerless. If your screen shows nothing, are you certain there's no F-117 lurking out there? That question isn't just for the radar operators. It's for entire nations confident in their defensive shields. A faint blip on the screen could be a bird, a glitch or the beginning of annihilation, because when the F-117 strikes, you don't get a second chance to wonder. Welcome to Titan Defense. Today, we unveil the legend of the F-117 Nighthawk, and don't blink, because something might just be gliding above you in the late 1960s. American pilots fell from the skies over Vietnam like fading stars, radars and surface to air. Missiles held the power of life and death. The F-105s and F-4 Phantoms, once the pride of the U.S. Air Force, became prey for the Soviet-made Samfire grid. Dozens of planes were lost each month, every ping from a P-1 to radar meant a life snuffed out. Pilots said they didn't fear MiGs. They feared something, invisible radar waves. When speed was no longer the answer, a chilling question arose. Asterisk, if you can't outrun radar, can you make radar blind to you? Asterisk, that question was thrown into the desert to Lockheed's Skunk Works, the secretive facility that birthed the U-2 and SR-71 Blackbird, a place that didn't exist on maps. Where everything happened under moonlight and silence, there, humanity began rewriting the rules of aerial warfare. They called the project Have Blue, small, bizarrely shaped aircraft. Like a shattered diamond, no one believed it could fly. Even the test pilots quipped. Asterisk, it looks like it's trying to aerodynamic its way through sheer willpower. Asterisk, but that was the point. Radar wouldn't know what it was. When radar waves hit those slanted surfaces, the energy was deflected away from the source. Instead of bouncing back, it scattered like water breaking against stone. Radar heard but couldn't comprehend. The original theory came from a Soviet physicist, Pyotr F-117. The Americans didn't steal it, they read it, understood it, and turned it into a weapon. A bitter irony. America's cloak of invisibility was woven from Soviet intel. Ever wonder who signed the order for a plane too ugly for radar to love? The answer, Harold Brown, U.S. Secretary of Defense under Carter, when Lockheed presented the design. He sat in silence for a long moment, then said, asterisk, I don't care if it's ugly. As long as radar can't see it, asterisk and so. The F-117 Nighthawk was born not with fanfare, but in absolute darkness. The F-117 Nighthawk isn't beautiful to human eyes, but it's a geometric nightmare for radar. No curves, just sharp faceted planes like a black crystal carved with a blade. Each surface is an equation, each edge a life or death decision. Its skin is coated with radar absorbent material RAM, a layer less than a millimeter thick, capable of swallowing 99% of reflected radar energy. Beneath it, a carbon composite frame reduces electromagnetic signatures, serrated air intakes, flattened exhausts, all designed for one purpose: to vanish from radar's gaze. The F-117's radar cross-section is so small, it registers as a stray bird. If radar listens with waves, the F-117 speaks in silence. Can you tell the difference between a void and a killer? Twin General Electric F-404 F-1D2 engines are buried deep within its frame. With no protruding exhausts, A flat cooling system blends hot exhaust with cold air the moment it leaves the plane, erasing its infrared footprint. Its speed around 680 miles per hour isn't as fast as fourth-generation fighters, but the F-117 doesn't need speed, it needs to be unknown. Like an assassin who carries no blade. Only darkness. Another question. Do we fear the roar of engines, or the absence of sound more? F-117 pilots don't rely on radar. They see through infrared, navigate by inertia and GPS. Before them is the night, painted with heat signatures pulsing like slow heartbeats. Each glow is a target of life, or an entire city. The FLIR and DLI are forward, downward-looking infrared systems create a 3D map in the dark. No need for light. No need for human eyes, just sensors and absolute focus. Could you aim at the heartbeat of a city? But even nightmares can be roused. On March 27, 1999, over Serbia, an F-117 Nighthawk fell to earth in a field, an SA-3 Pechora, 1960s. Relic touched the untouchable, the man behind it, Colonel Zoltan Dani. No cutting-edge radar, no advanced computers, just patience, discipline, and a bold hypothesis. Asterisk, the F-117 flies the same routes, at the same times, at the same altitudes. Asterisk, and when its bomb bay doors opened, its radar cross-section spiked. They activated the radar for mere seconds. Fleeting glance, a faint signal flickered. The order was given. 2 SA-3 missiles streaked upward. The sky lit up. Vega. 31 inches was hit. Pilot Dale Zelko ejected. Safely, but a great secret fell with it. An open question. Where did those wreckage pieces go? Did fragments of the F-117's RAM and stealth structure find their way to Russia and China? If so, how many modern aircraft carried traces of the Nighthawk's dust? 3 blades pierced the darkness that night. 1. Repetitive flight patterns. Who allowed a nightmare to follow a schedule? 2. Low-frequency radar. The blind spot in angular. Stealth's formula. 3. The moment the bomb bay opened, or 3 seconds. Enough for light to catch the dark. Ever think a few heartbeats could rewrite a legend's legacy? In 2008, the F-117 Nighthawk retired. The end. Or just an ellipsis. Years later, in Tonopah, Nevada, and Utah, black triangles without markings still carve through the twilight. Test pilots say the F-117 sometimes flies alongside the F-35 in radar tests. New RAM materials, experimental sensors, AI algorithms for the next era. Where are they, if not on the wings of this legend? A question that needs no answer. Tonight, when you look up, are you sure there's no F-117 hiding in your blind spot? The F-117 Nighthawk didn't win by being faster or bigger, but by being untouchable. From it, the world entered the era of invisible warfare. B-2 Spirit, F-R, Raptor, F, F-Central, Lightning II, and B-21 Raider. If every stealth generation has a first lesson, it's the F-117s. Asterisk make the enemy doubt their own radar. Asterisk ever wonder, what do we fear more, the enemy or the blank space on the screen? In which fear lasts longer, the wail of alarms, or a silence that lingers too long. In the end, the F-117 Nighthawk taught the world a chilling truth. On the battlefield, silence can be its own kind of explosion. You've just watched Titan Defense, where the shadows of technology are brought to light. Subscribe, because here we tell stories even radar can't catch. This is Titan Defense, where the unknown is revealed.